They only take roles where they can shine, be recognized for their skill, and own their spotlight. Show me one top injector who doesn't love to be called a top injector. They've earned that title. They've put in the hours, invested in their craft, and are talented and built loyal patients who follow them pretty much everywhere. So here's what most med spa owners are missing. Top injectors can sense respect or the lack of it before you even speak. They notice how you present yourself, how your website looks, how your social media feels, and especially how quickly you respond to their application. Urgency is respect. If you leave them hanging after an interview, they're going to take it as a sign and they're going to move on. Top injectors expect the red carpet treatment because they have earned it. They bring the kind of revenue, the reputation, and the loyalty that most med spa owners dream of. Before you even get their resume, they're already interviewing you. They're asking, do I want to work here? Will I be respected? Will I be set up to succeed? And gosh, what's that first day going to look like? It sets the tone. Top injectors don't want any surprises, especially on that first day. They want clarity, consistency, and momentum. They expect to walk in with appointments booked and a plan in place. And if day one feels disorganized, I'm telling you right now, they're going to assume the rest of their journey will be too. Transparency matters. If it's a new location or you're a startup business, say that proudly. Some injectors love being a part of a build. Others don't. That's okay. But if you oversell what's waiting and they walk into an empty schedule, you're going to lose credibility. And once that's gone, it doesn't come back. Wishy-washy job postings, you guys out there, are another red flag. When your messaging keeps changing, we want this, now we want that, it shows instability. Top injectors see that and they move on. They're not chasing chaos, they're chasing confidence. Show consistency, clarity, and follow through, and you will earn their trust. Here's the truth. Money is easy. Respect is earned. Top injectors want to be trusted to do their job. They don't need micromanagement. They need partnership. They're not just providers. They're business generators, educators, and brand builders. When they produce results, they want that recognized. Respect shows up in words and actions, how you speak to them, how you listen, and how you include them in decisions that impact their work. If they bring in consistent revenue, they expect a voice at the table, not because they're entitled, but because they've earned it. They care about culture, patient experience, and growth strategy. Invite them into these discussions, you guys, and they will engage even deeper. When they're engaged, they elevate everything around them, the brand, the culture, the results. And when you think about compensation, remember this: you can't pay someone enough to feel respected. Respect isn't a bonus, it's a culture. And that culture starts with transparency. Culture isn't about buzzwords, it's about behavior. It's what they feel every single day when they walk in to do their job. Top injectors are incredibly observant. They notice how the team interacts, how patients are treated, and how leadership is communicating. Dysfunction is obvious in about 5 minutes. If you want them to stay, give them an environment that reflects respect and stability. Be upfront about everything, and I mean everything. Why the role is open, and what kind of support they're going to get from you realistically, and what challenges are they honestly going to face. Transparency is honestly the form of respect that they all just deserve. They don't expect perfection. They expect honesty. And here's something else that's really important. Top injectors talk to each other constantly. They know who's being treated well and who's not. That means your reputation and retention strategy go hand in hand. Retention isn't optional, it's survival. Top injectors don't quietly leave. They leave really loudly. And their patients tend to follow them, their peers notice this, and your brand feels it. The best injectors stay where they feel respected, supported, and seen. Retention isn't about the perks. It's about partnership, communication, inclusion, and appreciation. Your reputation is recruiting for you every single day, no matter if I am or not. If your culture is strong, injectors will line up to be a part of it. And if it's not, even the highest pay won't even fix it. Protect your reputation. Build a culture where respect is a talking point. It's a daily practice. So if you want top injectors to choose your med spa, here's what you must commit to. Invest in your online presence, please, and recognize that impact and their impact. Public praise costs absolutely nothing, but it pays in loyalty. Top injectors want a place where they can shine, where they're trusted, and where their skill is respected. As a recruiter, I'm an advocate for these top injectors as much as I am for the med spa owners out there that I'm recruiting for. My goal is to create partnerships where everyone wins, the injector, the team, and the business. Stop chasing talent. Start building a med spa where top injectors want to be. Make your reputation and your culture and your clarity so magnetic that in the end, the best injectors are looking for you. And with that, I can open it up to questions if there's any thing, and we can start getting the dialogue going because I would love to get the conversation started. Any questions? Best way to attract top injectors. Okay. So the best way is to A, have your website be on point. If it's not fully done, that's okay. If you're new, it's okay, but have some kind of footprint online. They need to be able to find you. They want to find your address. They want to know where you're located. And if you know your business hours, they want to know that too, because they want to know if they're going to have to be open to Saturdays all the time or if there happen to be a Saturday here and there. How flexible is that? And where can they start that conversation? That job post has to grab their attention. So please, I beg of you, put the salary range in there because that will attract the talent that you are looking for and at least give you a place to start a conversation for negotiation. Please, the more descriptive, the better. Great question, though. Ideal compensation structure and amount. Oh, wow, this is a great one. This can really go back and forth, you guys. It can go from I just want to pay a salary to hourly and commission. I'm going to tell you from personal experience what absolutely drives motivation is when they see their hard work pay them in folds. So I always say you've got to do a strong base based on if they're a mid-level, like an NP or a PA, or if they're an RN straight out of the, training certificate type mode, or if they've been doing it for a long time and bringing in a clientele with them, you've got to be ready to pay what your market is paying. Know your competitors. See who's out there also hiring and be competitive. It's okay to say we're competitive when we're recruiting and we're trying to get people to apply. But when you're talking one-on-one, we need descriptive. So know your bottom line and communicate that. So if it's $40 an hour for an RN, but $70 an hour for a PA, then you've got to be very clear about that. And your commission structure has got to be tiered. The more they do, the more they get. And it's got to be reasonable so you're still in the profit as well. So really think about that and make sure that it's structured where it's fair, it's motivating, and it's profitable for you too. How do you feel about commission? What was that other one? Commission only? Commission only will attract a certain type of injector. Honestly, it's going to attract somebody who probably has a clientele and knows exactly what that pay looks like. Otherwise, you're looking for someone to possibly come in who is going to be just not really kind of loyal. Honestly, they're going to get up and leave when there's nobody in their chair. And if that's okay with you, great. But if you want somebody invested and actually help you drive business and maximize that patient experience, you want them there even during the slow times so we can decide, hey, how can we market? What can we do here? And get those schedules fully booked. So I think I missed another question, but I'm not sure. No. What's amazing about these injectors, you guys, is they just want to be part of the conversation. So Interviewing the owner before they ever apply. Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys. They know about the owners, or they think they do. And they bring that to the conversation all the time. I am hearing it all the time where I heard this and I heard that and I heard this. And sometimes they're spot on because it's great and they've seen your Google reviews. And then sometimes it's not so good stuff. And we've got to talk about all of the change that we want to create. And maybe we are trying to rebrand. And you need that special person who's going to help you do that. But you've really got to make sure that you understand that they're looking at you just as much. And they're interviewing you just because they want to make sure they can plant their feet. They don't want to jump around. They have a reputation of jumping around because they can't seem to find somebody who can catch them long enough and keep them where they feel that they're a part of something that's growing. And that's truly what I believe top injectors really want. How can owners balance setting expectations with giving top injectors the autonomy they want? Oh, open that communication, you guys. Make them part of that conversation. Make sure you're on the same page. Don't overpromise and underdeliver. Don't do that. Make sure that it's just you're on the same page and they know the expectations, and you show them where that revenue needs to go because they will make it happen. Absolutely will make it happen. But just don't call them a salesperson because a lot of people don't like that. They're providers. They've chosen a medical field for a reason, and then they've enhanced it with a cash business only industry that is very lucrative if you do it the right way. They need goals. And if they don't like goals and they don't like money, talk appointments. Tell them I need 3 filler appointments from you, 2 Botox and 1 laser. And that will be like, all right. And then you know your money's coming in. So you've got to speak the language that your team needs you to speak to, especially if you're in the making of top injectors because they're up and rising all the time. What red flags do top injectors notice the fastest during interviews or onboarding? I would say that the competitive pay and commission is probably one of the top red flags. They don't like when they don't have an understanding of maybe where they can even start the conversation. Are they way too high? Because they would want $1 million if they could get it, right? But if they come in too low, they're undervaluing themselves. So that's a huge red flag. When they're saying just something about, you know, I need 5, 6 years of, you know, talent and experience. But, that's 5, 6 years of working 1 day a week. No, no, that's a red flag for both of you guys because that just is not descriptive enough. You need to say exactly how many years of hands-on experience these injectors need to have to bring to your table to be straight up out the bat profitable from day one, or as close to being profitable as possible. But they need to see a descriptive what's expected from them because then they're going to want to talk about, all right, this is what I can do for you. Now, what can you do for me? But again, if you don't have your website up, you don't have an address where they can at least see where you are compared to where they are, that's the biggest red flag of them all. These are great questions. All right. Thank you. I'm so glad this is helpful because you know what? I try and speak the mind of all those great candidates that are out there and they are dying to be in a place where they can be in the spotlight. What are the benefits of using a recruiter? Oh my gosh, who doesn't want somebody who's been through it all, the good, the bad, and the ugly? What I feel as a recruiter is since I've been in the thick of it, as a provider, as a manager, as a regional, working hand in hand with the owners, I feel like I have some insight of what it's like to work with a great team and what that looks like and that equation looks like versus, those bad teams that we've all been on where everything is disconnected and the money's just not coming in and places close. Let's just be real. So I truly believe that your team is everything and you've got to invest in the proper person, but sometimes getting it right the first time, it starts with us. And you have to have somebody who's passionate about identifying talent because you're having us sell your dream for you and trust us with doing it. And we should be excited to do so because we're the biggest cheerleader for getting that role filled. So definitely using a recruiter is going to get you the job done better, more quality, and probably faster. So this is great. I love this. There's top injectors out there, you guys. They're waiting for you and they want to come work for you. Sometimes they don't even know that. Um, but you've got to give them a reason why. And what's exciting when I talk to these top injectors is they all have a great story of what they're looking for. And so many of you guys obviously will, have the story that is waiting for their chapter. And we just got to connect the two. So make sure you're doing everything you can to sell yourself to them on your side of the street. So that way they want to cross over and come and join. Right. What tangibles are people looking for? Is that tangibles or intangibles? Sorry, I didn't see that quick enough. Well, they are looking for benefits if you are working full time. They love that. They love the perks that come along with med spa, but you don't need to put that down there, to be honest. They know that there's great procedures that are at their foot of their hands that they're going to be taken care of aesthetically. That's a no-brainer. What they want is how are we going to take care of our family? How am I going to, be this breadwinner at times with a 401k or benefit options? And if not, maybe I'm compensated enough to be able to go and invest in that myself. Because nowadays we got to think bigger than just the one person in front of us. There's somebody that they are doing this for besides themselves. And we need to include that in the thought process when we're bringing people on. If you can afford to have the benefits, do it because it gives them peace of mind and it gives it loyalty as well. And no, you don't have to buy everybody scrubs. I mean, if you want to, great. But it's just a pain when you have to go run after them when they're no longer with you. So I just say let them buy their own scrubs personally, unless they've been with you for 5 years and you want to gift it to them, but don't ask for them back because that's just really weird. So that's not something I feel like somebody has to do. It's not a deal breaker. Red flags for injectors to avoid. Okay. All right, you injectors out there. They're selling the dream. We're gonna make sure that you get paid 300K plus in the first year, and we're opening December 1st. I hope so, but a little bit of a red flag. Dig a little bit deeper for that. Um, Definitely go online and see if their Google reviews are great. Go on Glassdoor as well. See what the employees are maybe saying about what it is like working there. We know that only the disgruntled ones go on there. So you've got to be able to be, kind of, there's the gray and the white and the black. You can see everything and understand that the truth is somewhere in between. But you've got to make your informed decision. But I always say people are worth a conversation. Your experience might be completely different, and they might have learned from the last experience they had. Give people a chance because change is a real thing, and everybody deserves a chance to change. What intangibles are people looking for? Okay. Well, they're looking for a community of support and they're looking for kind of like that girl vibe and sometimes boy vibe that comes on board. They want to feel connected, but they want that healthy competition too. They don't mind if there's another injector on premises that is kind of giving them a run for their money because it kind of feeds their passion for what they do and they find out that oh she's great at lips and I'm great at cheeks and oh wow we all kind of have a spotlight of ourselves but they like that they like to feel like okay I'm filling this niche over here she does this well over here but wait a second she's got 7 more clients than I do today. Okay, what's her secret? And then they like to get in each other's chairs to find out. So that community, that just that togetherness, that team building. I've had so many injectors ask me recently, do they do any team building? Do they do anything like outside of work together, but yet still have the boundaries? That's telling me that they want to feel connected much more than just a paycheck. They don't want to clock in, clock out, and go home. They want to feel like everybody's there with a purpose the same way they are. And they like to be people who lead and teach people, especially those mid levels. Take advantage of that because they've invested in that knowledge. And if they're willing to give it, take it. This is so great, you guys. Thank you to all the Instagram viewers. Oh my gosh, thank you so, so, so much for watching. Appreciate this. There's going to be so much more to come, so much more to talk about when it comes to grabbing that talent and identifying those amazing people out there. And if you are one of those amazing injectors I am speaking of, you know who I'm speaking to. Please, give yourself a pat on the back because that is an incredible thing you've accomplished and something that is constantly being sought after. Pros and cons of, I'm sorry, of what? Pros, cons? Did I miss something? What should we look for when hiring an injector? Oh gosh, well, when you're hiring an injector, I would say you want to look for somebody who is going to represent your brand the way you want it to. That you can go home and have some dinner with your family and not worry about a thing. That's going to be peace of mind for you. Somebody who wants and is hungry to drive your business and looks polished. Looks like they embrace what they do as well. Do they have to look perfect? No. But if they're overfilled and not really what you are looking to attract as a demographic, you got to decide if that's going to be the right person for you. If it is, wonderful. But if it's not, then it's going to throw everything off. And, involve your team with this top injector too, because the support needs to come from them as well, because the whole point is to maximize that patient experience. So get that filler, get that Botox, go get that laser hair removal too. And while you're at it, get that hydrofacial. It's all in the works together because not one treatment is the only answer. It's all about bundling. We all know that. So yeah, give them a community to build off of the appointment for sure. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. So I guess I could lead with how do we know who's a top injector, right? Because everybody can say, I'm a top injector. Top injectors to me, by definition, would be somebody who's going to come in and start moving that dial within that first month for you. So they're bringing a clientele that's loyal and is going to be able to do all those advanced areas that you're looking to do and probably have one or two things that they can come and teach somebody on your team about. They know something that maybe you don't, or something that somebody else does it in that room. They've been doing it for probably 2-3 years, but I have seen amazing injectors at 1 year who've been doing it for 1 year solid 40 hours a week and just have a natural talent who have an amazing portfolio. So keep that in mind when you're looking for people. Don't shut the door to somebody who's got a solid portfolio and a solid amount of hands-on experience.